5. Okay, so it is the 13th, right? That's what Carly said. 10. Oh, that pin's not working. Why do I keep it? If it doesn't work, get rid of it. Right? Okay, let me find a different pin real quick. Here we go. I think this will work. So today what we're going to do is we're going to look at operations between functions. So go ahead and write that down. Operations between functions, which would include some of the stuff we know. We're going to add, subtract, multiply, we're going to divide, and so we're going to add functions, we're going to subtract them, we're going to multiply them, we're going to divide them, and we're going to put one into another, and we're going to substitute. A lot of this you already know. A lot of this you guys actually have done as early as Algebra 1. As always, what's hard about math is just how they ask the question. So when I look at example 1, f of x equals x plus 1, and g of x, x squared plus minus 1, these are two different functions, right? And then we see find f plus g of x. What they're really saying is just add these two. Does that make sense? So to do it, we're just going to say, all right, I can go x plus 1 plus my x squared minus 1. We'll combine like terms, so I have an x squared, right? I have an x, and 1 and negative 1 cancel each other, so that is the answer to f plus g in terms of x. Pretty easy. Example 2 says the same thing, except we're going to subtract them. It says take f and subtract g. So, all right, I'm going to take f, which is my x plus 1, and I'm going to subtract my g, which is my x squared minus 1. Now, you got to be careful. You don't have to do this, but this is how I do things when I've got a parentheses. I add the negative, bring the negative through. It just keeps me from making mistakes, so I would plus the negative so I don't make a mistake, because I am famous for making mistakes. So now I can just add them, and so I have a negative x squared, I have a positive x, and I have a plus 2. Right? Okay. Times. It's a times symbol. It just didn't type very well on the computer, but that's supposed to be f times, so it really is times. So I'm going to take my x plus 1, and I'm going to multiply it to x squared minus 1, right? And I'm just going to go ahead and multiply. X times x squared is an x cubed. X times a negative 1 is a negative 1x. 1 times an x squared is a positive 1x squared. And 1 times negative 1 is a negative 1. There's not much I can do. That is the answer, but I might rewrite it in descending order, right? So I might like to go x cubed plus a 1x squared minus a 1x minus 1. How am I doing? Am I doing okay? And of course, the fourth one is just to divide. So I'm going to take f, which is my x plus 1, over my g, which is my x squared minus 1. Now, like a lot of fractions, if it can be reduced, I will. So it's a fraction. Can it be reduced? Well, if I factor, let's see what happens. What does the denominator factor into? Yeah, x plus 1, x minus 1, right? X plus 1 over x plus 1 makes a 1, correct? Makes a 1. So your answer is 1 over x minus 1. How am I doing? Doing okay? So these are really easy. I just need everybody just to watch. It always hurts my feelings when you miss this. Okay. f of x, f of x, f of 2. That means my x value is 2. The answer is 3. Okay, f of x. So if my x is 2, my answer is the corresponding y value, which is 3. Thumbs up on that? It's really very easy. Nobody's going to miss that one on our quiz, right? Kids do, though. I'm like, are you kidding? So, I will put it, so f of 2 is here. I want that point right there, which is a height of 3. G of 2, same way, what do you guys think G of 2 is? What's G of 2? Negative 1, everybody? Negative 1. There's 2 for the x value, and its height is right there, which is a height of negative 1. Good. Now, find x. If f of x equals 0, okay, that means when is y equal to 0? Find x. When is y equal to 0? Never. Never. Undefined, or just there's no answer. Okay, yeah. It does not, never, okay, an answer of y equals 0, never, okay? No solution. Now, f of x plus g of 2. Okay, so we've kind of got it. We know that f of 2 is 3, right? We got that. Plus we got g of 2 is negative 1. So we get an answer of 2, okay? Does that make sense? I already knew f of 2 was 3. I knew, right? Now, sometimes, actually a lot of times, you don't get an equation. Think about the stock market. You want to compare one month to another month, right? Yeah. There's no equation. You just add the heights. You just add this. You add the 2 graphs. Does that make sense? So all we're going to do is we're going to add these 2 graphs. And the way you add them is you add their individual x values and add their heights. Make sense? So like 1 month you did this, and the next month you did this, but between 2 months you'd have the sum of the months. Okay, so let's see. Let's start at 1, 2, 3. So at negative 3. At negative 3, what's the height of the f graph? And what's the height of the g graph?
At negative 3.
So it's going to be a positive, you see a positive 1. So I'm going to have a positive 1. And I'm going to have a negative 2 right there. What do you get? Okay. I'll do the next one. At negative 2. At negative 2. At negative 2 right here, f is at a height of 1. And g is at a height of negative 1. So I'd get a height of 0. Okay. At negative 1, you have a height of 1. And you'd have a height of 0. So you'd have a 1 plus a 0, which is a 1. I'm just doing a bit. Have I lost you? Have I lost you? Let me show you again.
Where's the first one again? Negative 1?
Yep, yep. We have to do it this way. Watch. So right here, everybody watching, right here. What's the height? What's the height right here?
1.
What's the height right here?
Negative 2.
If I add 1 and negative 2, what do I get?
A negative 1.
See how it works? Okay. I'm at 0. I got a height of,
1.
and I got a height of, what's the answer? Put an answer, put it out right there, 0. You guys see it? It's easy for me to stand in front of the board and do this. And then we'll keep going. Okay, so then, an exercise. So at 1, height of,
2.
height of,
Negative 1.
so what's the answer?
1.
1. So put a point right there, 1, right? All right. Okay, how about 2? What do you guys think? What's 2 going to be? I got 3 and negative 1. See it? I got 3 and negative 1 makes a 2. You guys want me to show it again?
Wait,
I'll do it. It's easier if I stand in front of you. You guys agree? All right, we already did this one, which is awesome, because what's the height here?
3,
What's the height here?
-1.
And guess what? We already did this one, didn't we? So we get height of...
2.
We did. Didn't we already do this one?
Oh.
Yeah, we did that one. 2. Okay, and the last one, let's just do 3. Here we go.
Wait, it's 2 twice?
It can be. What's the height here? So this is a little tricky, the height here and the height here.
Oh,
1.5 maybe? 2.5. 2.5 and what?
0.
Is what?
2.5.
All right, so put it at 2.5. And finally, the last one, height of 2, height of 1. What do we get?
3.
Yes. So then we just connect the dots. What do you think? Ellie, did I make a mistake? I do.
Yeah, this graph has one more,
Than the rest of them.
than the others. One more x on the value.
Yeah, it's the one that's right, it's at, 3,
3 and 2. That should not be there, huh?
No.
That should be there. Ah, gosh darn it. That's why I have 3 bottles of whiteout. There's a reason.
Solid.
Exactly. Okay, so let's just do this real quick. So Ellie, what you're saying is I should go there. And you're saying this should be 2.5 and that should be 3. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Yeah. Thanks, Ellie. Okay. Ellie, you have no idea how much I appreciate you in this class, by the way, okay? My math teacher in high school would have said, oh, I didn't make a mistake. I was just seeing if you're paying attention. Are you serious? Do you think any of us believe that? No. Okay, turn the page. So now, these are kind of cool if you get it, and you're going to get it, okay? So, the book likes this symbol. We like this symbol. They're the same thing. Fog and Goff. So, if you read what we like, we're going to put G inside of F. So put G of X into F. This is just the opposite. This says put F of X into G, because it's inside. Does that make sense? I mean, I've got G is inside of F, or F is inside G, okay? They like to use this symbol. It means the same thing. G is inside of F, Fog and Goff. I know, yeah. Fog and Goff. So, if we look at this first example, we've got 2 different functions that the book made up. It could be any functions, but these are my 2 functions. Fx is 1 over x squared, and g of x is the square root of x. So, when I take a look at this one, I'm going to put g of x, this equation, into f. Okay?
Chain rule flashbacks.
Oh, yeah. So, all I'm going to do is this. I'm going to put g of x into f. So where does it go? It goes into its x. Does that make sense? So I'm going to take the whole square root, x minus 2, and put it right there. Because it goes into it. Does that make sense?
Too much
So
math.
take the whole thing and plug it into it, right? So we're going to get a 1 over, not x squared, but the square root of x minus 2 squared. Okay? Put, you're not bad, huh? Put g of x into x. Now I can simplify that. You guys agree? Square and square cancels, and it'll really get just a 1 over x minus 2, right? Now this is the other. It says take f of x and put it into g. So I'm going to take this equation, take this, take the whole thing and put right there. Makes sense? Put right in for the x. All of this goes right there. Okay, not bad.
You,
And so let's see what we get. So we have the square root of, but not x, but we're going to go 1 over x squared minus 2. And that's all the further you have to simplify it in calculus. They're going to make you do some things with it, aren't they, Brittany? Common denominator, put them together, but we don't have to, okay? Okay, now what does this mean? What do you think this means?
plug 6 in for G and then plug it in there.
So plug 6 into G. What do you get when you plug 6 here?
2.
Okay, then what do you do with 2?
Plug it into that.
Yes, that's it. Okay, let me show you what Kai said. Kai said, let's put 6 into G. So I'm going to go G of 6 is equal to the square root of 6 minus 2, because 6 goes in to G. G of 6 equals the square root of 4, so G of 6 equals 2. And then we're going to take G of 6, which is 2, and we're going to plug it into F. So the 2 is going to go into the F. So we're going to have really F of 2, right? Which is going to be our 1 over 2 squared, which is 1/4. Thumbs up? Okay. So what do you think is going to happen with the next one?
The same thing.
Okay, see if you can do it. I'll give you like 15 seconds to do it, because that's all it's going to take. It's 15 seconds, right? Okay, what'd you get?
Got
He gets like,
Yep. I'll give it. Yeah, absolutely.
Look at the definition of
Carly.
it.
Carly, we got a long ways to go,
I
okay?
know, I'm feeling it.
Can you show me the... No, actually, yeah, no, don't show the V.
Define.
Did you guys get I? Anybody get I?
no, wait.
Plug, yep. So plug 1 into F, which is F of 1 is 1 over 1 squared, which is 1. Then we're going to take G of 1, because that's the answer, right? Which is going to be the square root of 1 minus 2, square root of negative 1, which is I. Okay, here's our homework, and we don't have a lot of times to go outside. Jose, I'm sorry, man.